Hello and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Randesha, or Randy for short. In this video, we are going to be going over basically how I choose my budget planner. So some things that I think about that I just wanted to share with you guys. As you know, we're in planner season and we're all thinking about our 2021 planners. Well, some of us, most of us. But I just want to, share my thoughts, like my thought process of how I typically will choose my budget planner. And a lot of these you can use to help you pick like your actual like regular planners as well. So let's just jump into it. Okay, so the first thing that I like to consider is the portability or the size. So some things that I like to think about with my budget planner is whether I want to track expenses on the go. So do I need it small enough, like the new budget mini from the Happy Planner? Do I want that to be small enough that I can use it at the register when, I can just write in what I spent and I can track expenses on the go? Or do I want it to be like a classic size? I use my classic size. Once I get to the car, I break it out and then I write in my transactions if I choose to do so. That's one of the ways in which I like to use my planner. So whatever planner I get, I need to be able to just break it out and write on it in my car seat and just put it back together and be on my way to the next store. Or if you don't want to use it at the register, will it easily fit into your backpack? I use a backpack for the most part, but maybe some of you guys use a purse. If you like to use a small little clutch or small purse and you got this classic size planner, well, your planner is not going to fit into your purse, so you're going to be carrying two separate things. Is that something you want to do on the go? Or will you just leave your planner in the car like I typically do when I'm not using the Happy Planner planner purse or my backpack? So yeah, and then if you are using the Happy Planner disc system, then you got to think about the weight of your planner, because if you're putting it into your purse, you guys know when that purse get heavy and them straps get to digging into your shoulder, nobody wants all that when they're out running errands. So you got to think about how heavy it's going to get towards the end of the year when you put all this stuff into your planner. So yeah, that's kind of the things that I like to think about when it comes to portability and size. The next thing is accessibility. And when I say accessibility, I mean, do you always want to have your planner readily accessible, or do you want to leave it at home open on your desk? Like, where do you want to leave it? Like, how do you want to access your planner? So I typically like to carry my planner with me. So I like to always have it readily accessible. So I need something that fits my on-the-go lifestyle. So I am a full-time working mom and wife. So I need all those things to come with me because I'm always on the go. So I do not want anything that stays open and pretty on my desk. So it needs to be durable and it needs to be able to get thrown around because that's my life, and it needs to be able to hang in there with me. Okay, so replaceability. So for replaceability, I have all of these things. So if you get a planner, do you want it to be available in stores, or is it an online vendor exclusive? Like you can't find it in stores, you can only order it online. If you order it online, is it a standard item? Like, is it always in stock and always will be? Like, it's one of their staple items? Or is it a limited edition or custom item that they have to make for you and it'll take some time to make? And if it's custom, how long will it take for them to make it? The processing time, and how long is the shipping? So if you ever lose your planner, you got to think about how long is it going to take for a custom planner to get to your door in your hands. And again, if it's a standard item, is it typically in stock? Because some items, they could be standard, but they're always out of stock. And you don't really want that either. And limited edition is limited edition. I don't think, unless it's just, like the theme of it, like how Happy Planner has the Happy Planner Girls, unless the theme is limited edition and not the actual system, then that works too. But if your system, like your actual entire planner, is limited edition and it's a one-time thing, you kind of want to be careful with that, because you might have to change your system every single time because you only got that limited edition type planner. So if it is lost or damaged, can it be recovered or restored? If you are not okay with it being lost forever, I would suggest, or with it being lost forever or recovered in red. If you're not okay with that, I would suggest that you go digital and not have like an actual physical copy, because if the thought of someone picking it up, like it's your journal, and maybe, I don't know, somebody does a slam journal or something still, and they're worried about a relative or coworker or whoever just picking it up and exposing them, then I mean, your digital journal could get hacked too. But anyways, you guys get my point, that if that causes you any kind of like stress, then you might want to go digital, where you can put a password or something on your planner. Or you just might want to omit all of that information altogether and just like maybe write it down and then burn it or like shred it or something, just to get it off your chest. And that's all it is. It's a way to vent for you, but you don't really, you recognize that venting is something in that moment that you're having, and you just need to get it off your chest. So if it's like a stress reliever, and then you want to destroy it so nobody, digital or physical, can get a hold of it, that works too. And then you have to think about when it comes to replacing it, is it affordable for you to replace, or is it expensive? Because if you go the limited or the custom route, it's more than likely going to be expensive. But if it's a standard item or something that you could pick up in stores like Michael's or something, and you could use a coupon on, then it's typically more affordable. So you got to think about them coins when you're picking up your planner. So the next thing I like to think about is whether it is a structured or DIY budget planner. And by that, I mean, for something that's semi or very structured, that kind of budget planner, I would say, is best for newbies, because you can quickly figure out what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Like those of you who have been around the Happy Planner for a couple years now, you might remember they used to have, let me get it really quick. So this used to be the page that was right before the monthly divider. So it used to give you like a whole little breakdown of all the sections were filled out. You had like your mortgage, your rent. Let me see if I can get this closer. So you see they have more pre-filled sections where you have mortgage, rent, phone, maintenance, and then you had auto, and then you had like all these little sections that were filled out. But over time, the Happy Planner community just basically complained that we don't want all of those little sections. So they went from this being like very, very structured to what they have now in the new budget planner. This is like where this page is supposed to be. But so now you see that it's like somewhat structured. They're still telling you like what to put here, but you can always white it out and do what you want. But it's still like very structured. Well, not very, but like semi-structured. You see how they still have some type of structure where they're putting the pre-filled expenses in there and things. And then you have on these two pages where they have like places where they've already filled out the headers for you to kind of like suggest what you should do with those sections, just because if you're a newbie, it's helpful because you may not have budgeted before. So things like that can be helpful to help you find like your footing when it comes to what you want in a budget planner. But someone like me that I've been budgeting for a while, I like little to no structure, because I have like my own budget method and my own budget style that I don't need all of that structure. And I'm okay with basically like DIYing my own layout and like tweaking things to make it fit what I want, and not just going with what they've already put in there. So, and it's also like a little to no structure budget planner is also good for those who know they don't like a structured budget planner, or, just a planner. So they're okay with doing their own thing too. So, and how structured versus non-structured a budget planner is kind of subjective, because with the new budget planner, let me bring it back out. This layout I would call let me get to a fresh month. I would call this semi-structured, because all of these headings and things that they put in here are very easily able to be whited out, and it wouldn't take that much. But for me, I'm not trying to do all that. So like, yeah. So this is semi-structured to me, but for someone else who's used to maybe like the Budget Mom Planner, this might be a little like less structured, because the Budget Mom Planner, if you've ever used it or seen it or anything like that, you know that her budget planner is very structured, and it has way more prompts and everything like that. So that's why I say the structure of a budget planner can be somewhat subjective depending on who you ask. Alrighty. All right, so the next point that I like to think about is aesthetics. So does your budget planner have to be pretty? Like, will you use your budget planner if it's not pretty? And of course, you guys know what I mean by pretty. Like, do you have to have all of the cute little illustrations? Does it have to have color? Or do you just like neutral? And by neutral, I mean black and white, because, you know, when it comes to neutral, I feel like that's a very gray area in the planner community, because some people's neutral can include very pastel colors, like a very soft, like blush. To me, blush is neutral. But when I say black and white, I mean like black, white, and gray tones. So, but that's what some people mean when they say neutral, but I don't know. Anyways, so do you want the aesthetics built in like a happy planner, or do you want to DIY your aesthetics like I do with my Erin Condren monthly planner, or do you want a combination of both? So I feel like the new happy planner budget planner is going to be a combination of both, because I'm going to DIY the aesthetics, but there's already the aesthetics built into the planner by the way of all the color and like the script font that they use in the planner already. So I like to do both, because just in case I'm not able to DIY the pretty, you know, use the Tombow markers and all of like my washi tapes and stuff, is it still cute enough for me to want to use for that month? Or is it like functional enough for me to use already for that month if I don't have time to like do all the stuff? And do I have time to, you know, do a bujo where I got to draw the monthly calendar and stuff like that? Like, no. That's why I don't use a bujo for my budget planner, because I'm not drawing a monthly calendar for my budget planner month after month. That's just which almost brings me to my next point. The level of excitement. So does it bring you joy? We doing you know, the KonMari method right now. Does it bring you joy? When you look at it, are you excited to use it? If you don't have that pretty in there, are you excited to use it? Is it pretty enough for you to use it for an entire month with just the aesthetics that comes in the planner? So that's like, you see how the aesthetics and the level of excitement goes together, because I think it was July, I had 5 weeks in there, or 3 paychecks in there, that I had to look and stare at the aesthetics of July. And towards that 3rd paycheck, I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all, I didn't even want to look at that budget planner. So that's how I know that the aesthetics of my July budget setup was not cute enough for me. So I need a little bit more oomph to keep me in my budget planner for like that long, because just 2 paychecks, that's enough time for me to be in that month. But when it comes to 3, I know that when it's a 3 paycheck month, I need that layout to be just so super cute to me, that I just want to open it and be in it all day. So that's a lesson for me. But otherwise, the other 2, like the other months where there's only 2 paychecks, is fine. All right, so this one I think is the biggest one for me, is the required level of activity. And by that, I mean, what is the maintenance level on your budget planner? So high maintenance is if it takes a lot of time for you to set up your budget planner in order for you to use it, there's a lot of prompts to fill out and everything like that. Like you have to touch your planner a lot of times in order to set it up or just to use it before you can actually get to budgeting. So that's why I actually really love the Budget Mom's planner, but all of the prompts in there are just a turn off. And I know she has a printable version that I could just print and everything like that, but then I would want to take those printables and put them and like Frankenplan them into something else, like a Happy Planner or an Erin Condren or something like that, because you know the aesthetics of her planner are cute, but they're not for me. Yeah, so that would be a high maintenance budget planner for me. And the old version of the Happy Planner budget planner with all of those prompts, that's high maintenance to me. Like what would you consider high maintenance? Because some people actually really loves a lot of prompts. It really helps them. But I just don't like prompts. Nope. Yeah, y'all done heard me rant about that a couple of times when it comes to prompts. I'm just not a prompts person. And when I say that something is low maintenance, I mean that there's minimal to no setup time to use it, and there's minimal to no prompts to fill out. So for me, the Erin Condren monthly planner that I'm using is a low maintenance planner. Even though I do have to, you know, set up my budget and things like that, as pretty much as long as a monthly calendar is done and dated for me, then I can make really anything work. Because to me, that's like the biggest time suck when it comes to your budget planner is making that for me, making that monthly calendar. And then the other thing is if that budget planner requires me, like not requires, but makes me want to put stickers in it, like I can't get into the aesthetics of it without me DIYing it and adding stickers, that increases the level of maintenance because I cannot use it unless my budget calendar is there, unless it's cute with all the stickers, unless I got all my markers and stuff set up, like unless I got everything written down and stuff in my monthly budget planner, like that, every level that I add to the setup increases the level of activity. So yeah, for me, I like my budget planners to be like low to medium maintenance of activity. Like I don't mind if the aesthetics is not there, but I can immediately use it and then go back and add the aesthetics later. Like that brings the maintenance down lower, even though I will feel prompted to use stickers, but is it set up enough for me to go ahead and use it without having to draw everything out? In my current planner, the only thing I draw out is things that I actually need to budget, like my monthly budget where I'm writing all of my monthly expenses and things like that. And then my like 2 to 3 paycheck to paycheck budgets. That's basically all I'm pretty much writing out, which I need anyway in order to budget. So yeah. All right. So those are just some things that I like to think about. And when it comes to picking out my budget planner primarily, but also any planners that I'm using. But I also like to ask myself a couple of questions in addition to the things that I like to take into consideration. So the questions I like to ask are, what am I using now? So as for like the size, the paper quality, the planner supplies that I'm using to to enjoy that planner. So yeah, with what I'm using now is my Erin Condren monthly planner, like I said, and then I'm mostly just using washi and markers. That I have found like I don't really need stickers in my budget planner because it increases the level of maintenance for me. And if I feel like I need to use stickers, then yeah, that planner becomes too high maintenance for me and I'll be more likely to abandon that planner. versus if I just use markers and washi tape, that's super easy for me. And plus, you know, Simply Gilded washi is just gorgeous. So I'm like, that's what I'm on right now. And it's exciting to me to do my budget planner because that means I get to use my Simply Gilded washi. So if you're not using a budget planner right now, what do you think might work? Do you think the budget planner, or I think she calls it a budget workbook? Don't quote me. So, but do you think the budget workbook would work for you? Do you think the new Happy Planner budget planner will work for you? Just kind of like think about the things that you need to track and you want to do and figure out which one of these budget planners that you know of will work best. And then maybe that's a starting point, and then you move on to something else if it doesn't work, or you tweak whatever you got in order to make it work for you. So I basically got started with the Happy Planner budget planner, and I tracked my expenses. And then over time, I found that I didn't need to track my expenses anymore. I didn't need all the structure that Happy Planner was giving me. I didn't want all of the color that Happy Planner was giving me every single month. So as I tweaked my process and got to know what worked for me, I tried out the Erin Condren monthly planner and found out that I actually don't mind making my planner pretty as long as the pretty is simple. So AKA minimal. I mean, very minimal stickers. So yeah. And then when you like, if you're using something now, or if you're thinking about using something, what do you like about that planner? So maybe you can make like a list about what you like, your pros and cons, what you like about the planner and what you don't like about the planner. And maybe you can like use that list to find a budget planner that would be good for you to use next or to try out next, things like that. And again, what don't you like about it? Again, your pros and cons list will help you with that. And then in addition to your pros and cons list, you can think about what you wish each one of the planners had, or what, if you're using something right now, what do you wish it had, or what could make it better for you? So again, with the old school Happy Planner, I thought, you know, as I was using it, I was like, basically, if the Happy Planner did not write in all of these prompts, like the pre-printed expenses, that would be better for me, because some of the stuff that they're printing I don't use. So it's like it's more maintenance for me to go in and white out all of these categories that I don't use, and it kind of like delays me just jumping right in. So yeah, that basically is all the questions that I have for you to kind of like ask yourself right now, especially if you're using something, in addition to the questions that you're asking yourself and all of the points that I mentioned before, to figure out what kind of budget planner you think will work for you, or again, what type of actual planner will work for you, because those things to consider they can apply to regular planners as well. So I hope this video helped you guys. If it did, hit the like button. And if you want to subscribe and help me get to 1,000 subscribers, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.